I was popping everybody. Welcome to another video, another day, another trade recap, and I am going to be bringing you guys my lessons from today. As y'all can see, I lost $700, which is my maximum loss limit for myself for this account. Am I happy about it? Obviously not. Nobody's gonna be happy to lose money. This is my first losing day on this account. But in return, in exchange for that $700 loss, I did learn some pretty valuable lessons. So I'm not really that mad at it. Um, Overall, I can live with it. I think that I learned from it, so can't really be too mad about it. I'll give you a little update on my payout as well. Y'all can see here like the timestamps from Top Step, which is pretty cool. Everything is processed, everything is approved. Now we're just waiting on Wise to receive the money, which should take 24 to 48 business hours. Hopefully, we get it as soon as possible. Obviously, but yeah. So coming in today, obviously everybody was pretty bullish, just for a multitude of reasons. I'll go to trading so I can see a little bit better, but um, we were having a bullish reaction off the daily wick. Yesterday, I wanted to see if we were going to respect this change in the state, respect this inversion for VIGA, which we did not do, to go and continue to take out the opening gap from the week. Um, that's what I wanted to see. And so when it came to coming into this morning, I was still with the same bias. I was honestly considering last night taking an overnight swing just based off the change in the state of delivery. We had the BPR got put in right here, and we had the unfilled opening gap. I did not take it though. I wanted to wait for market open just to see. I would have gotten stopped out, so thankfully I did save myself that loss. But I want to show y'all. So coming into the morning, what I did first learn was that I didn't really notice, but I heard somebody say that the day after a bank holiday, usually market open the following day will be pretty slow, pretty choppy. And despite us having 8:30 red folder news, that still was the case, and I wasn't really aware of that. I was thinking since we had 8:30 red folder, we were going to be back fine and everything would be dandy, sunshine and rainbows. Obviously, that was not the case, so we did have some slightly inefficient price action from that as a result. Um, but that's kind of my fault for not really being aware of that. Really, it's pretty much my fault. But y'all can see, out of market open, we came up, swept London high. From there, I was waiting to really just see what I figured price would be most likely to want to do. Um, and what else? What was my second major lesson? I think when it comes to just trading out of open, and once 10 a.m. hits, and if we still don't have any true efficient price action, if we're still kind of just ranging, just wait for the next macro. That's going to be like my biggest personal takeaway, because I did take some losses post 10 a.m. that I think that could have been avoided if I would have just waited for the next macro. I would have been able. I actually paper traded the rest of the session, and I ended up doing very well. So yeah, just being able to step away, maybe come back the next macro, especially when you identify inefficient conditions, because oftentimes when the previous macro was slow, when this 10 a.m. macro was slow, usually the 11 a.m. macro will be much better, which today proved right. Again, it happened multiple times last week as well, and just throughout this month. So that's something I want to focus on just going forward, is identifying whether or not price action is showing me efficiency, and using that to kind of dictate what my decisions will be, whether I take a trade, whether I lower my risk, and whether I do whatever I do. Um, but yeah, so that's kind of like one of my main lessons from today. But I want to show y'all some of the trades I did end up taking. I took a short right here. I want to say we had an SMT. We came up, swept this high. We were still respecting CE right here. I did take this actually. I took it off the seconds time frame though. You won't be able to see it with TradingView, but I was targeting this external sell side level. We had relative equal lows. I want to see us come down and take all this. It didn't happen. Um, from there, I didn't catch really that long at all. Where are we at right here? 10 a.m. My next trade, I want to say, came at like 10:04. I take a short. Yeah, I take a short off the 15-second at 10:04. We were rejecting off this wick right here. It's entered short, targeting this internal sell side level, and as y'all can see, came up, stopped me out at break even, continue lower. This was really what messed me up. This right here, I entered short, or I got entered long on this multiple times. I got stopped out. So I first took it off of the respect of this 1 minute consequent encroachment, breaker, block, rejection, block, whatever y'all want to call it. It has a lot of names, but consequent encroachment of these wicks right here. As I was seeing, we were failing to swing low. We were still respecting the 5 minute. And I want to say we had just tapped the 15 minute as well. Yes, we did. I'm looking for long. You see we close above the, well, I'm looking for long, and prior to even the close above, we had a 15-second or 10-second displacement candle, which is where I entered off of. Ended up pyramiding once we got to the close above the 1 minute right here. Now, where did I fail with this at? There was no true displacement. This was really just price being choppy, and I think I should have waited to pyramid until we had true displacement, targeting these relative equal highs, and then gonna continue to look higher for the weekly opening gap and all that good stuff. But there was no true displacement here, so when I did size in, I got stopped out, and then at that point I had hit my max daily loss limit, and I was pretty much done because I already taken the loss earlier, the break even, and then that pretty much was done right there. Which does suck, because as y'all can see, I literally got stop punted and then we ran right to do exactly what I wanted to see price do, which is very unfortunate. But you live and you learn, though. You have to wait for true displacement, be more selective, and identify what type of conditions you're in. But that's really it, though. That's kind of like my main takeaways from today. I'm not really that mad at today. Today was definitely just a pretty bad day in terms of price action, pretty choppy. We barcoded for a very long time, and it was pretty hard to navigate. So it was definitely my fault that I didn't do better at just identifying that and seeing, okay, we're chopping, we're slowing up. Maybe I should just wait for the next session. Maybe I should just wait for 1050. Like, if I'm seeing we're looking like this, around the macro time, we're not really doing anything. We're not showing any true displacement. I think going forward, I'm just going to step away, come back 10:30, come back at 10:45, and then look to possibly execute from there. And I think that I will have a lot better luck. I guess I'll show you the paper trades I took as well. The paper trades I took I took this macro trade right here. Once we came up, sweat this internal high, got this 5-minute displacement right here, got the change in the state. I held this down to about right here. Ended up getting trailed my stop loss, got stopped out, and then I re-entered it once we got, I want to say on the 3-minute, it was like some more, once we got this displacement after we respected the 3-minute, re-entered on this displacement candle, and I rode it to down here, as y'all can see. So I was 2 for 2 when it came to paper trading after the session closed, or after I was done personally with my personal account, which is always kind of unfortunate, but it happens though. It's definitely a good learning lesson from today, and I hope you guys can take that and learn with it as well. But yeah, with that being said though, I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and yeah, thank you for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Peace out.